Okay, so I just clicked start streaming. Welcome to FaithFocals. My name is Faith, and so the plan for today, if you were watching my last stream, you know that I had a tragic accident. I was in the Nether at base 2. I am currently at base 1 because I never reset my spawn point for base 2. How is my health so low? Let me get on that. I guess I need a furnace. So I was at base 2, and I was trying to create the connection, the Nether connection, to get back here. I think I fought a witch last time. That might be why my health is so low. I don't remember. Got plenty of rabbit here, so that's good. At base 2, I was getting ready to make my connection back, go through the Nether, find this portal that's causing a lot of noise right next to me, and got through the portal, and there was a curtain of lava on the other side, so I tried to deal with that, and it ended horribly. So you can see my last stream if you want to see the details of that tragic scenario. But now my goal is to get back to base 2 because I really like that base. And in order to do that, I am going to need some armor. Oh yeah, I did make an extra shovel last time. In order to make armor, I'm going to need some more iron. And then I'll probably want obsidian eventually. So today the primary goal for the stream is to come up with some iron. Let's see. Yeah, why not? Why not have an extra shovel in my inventory? Let's eat up. And there's also something that I wanted to discuss. Because I realized, let's see, how do I put this? I am not like everybody else. I think we all know this. Especially if you've been following the channel, you might have found cause to scratch your head at some points. That's the way it's going to be with everybody. But I realized that I thought maybe I had better explain some of where I'm coming from as I do these streams. Because personally, I find personalities interesting and how they make people different interesting. So I wanted to cover some thoughts about my personality, and that way when you come back here, if anyone happens to stumble on this stream in the future, they can have a reference for where in the world I'm coming from as I'm making statements. My last video was about one of my favorite YouTubers. I was saying he was my favorite YouTuber, but then I remembered my brother does YouTube videos, so my brother is actually my favorite. But was remarking on some content from my favorite YouTuber, and I think most people who know this person are going to find him very tame, are going to find what he does pretty tame. I've not used signs before, so I'll be learning this as I'm going. That's not the way I want it. Hold on. Okay. There we go. This is what I want. Oh, by the way, one of the problems with being a YouTuber, especially I'm trying to talk about my thoughts, my beliefs, me, I, and it, when I was a kid, I was told that if you're going to determine whether you're self-centered, check how many times you're using the word I. Well, this isn't great. I'm using the word I all the time as I'm talking. And what I'm telling myself at this time is I've got my only reference is myself right now. My only reference, the only position I can come from to talk to you folks is myself. I'd love to be able to relate to you from your point of reference, but since I don't know who you are, I can't do that just yet. And now that I'm talking about talking to other people, let me pop out my chat and make it take up half of my monitor down here so that I can actually see people when they chat. Hopefully I do a better job this stream, because we know that I have yet to learn how to catch people when they chat. So hopefully I will improve in that subject. When you come into chat and talk, hopefully I'll be able to start asking you questions about where you come from, what your point of reference is, and then I can shift away from talking about myself all the time, because I really do look forward to learning about you and who you are and where you come from, and then giving my perspective on that and trying to do that as graciously as possible. So let me go ahead and get rid of, I'll just put that back there for now. Because I've mentioned my whole point for this channel is to bring out my belief system, to chat about my beliefs, to leave them on the internet for posterity. And that doesn't just have to be about the beliefs I can currently think of talking about now. It can be however I would respond to other people. And my goal is to respond as kindly to other people as possible, which is part of what I want to talk about here. So, if you know these letters, if you know the Myers-Briggs personality system, you can probably guess my personality type. If you're very familiar with this, I think I've got a fairly distinctive, fairly common personality type. I'll go ahead and explain what the letters mean. Now, I found a system for understanding these letters that I think really helps me. So I'm going to explain the system as I'm going here. So let's start with this letter. This letter, well, tell you what, has to do with these slots. So this one is the P for perceiving slot. This one is the J for judging slot. And judging doesn't have to do with how quickly you dismiss other people, how condescending you are. Judging has to do with how quickly you make decisions, how quickly you decide that you know what's going on and can make an informed decision based on that. Perceiving has to do with how you take in information about the world. So this slot here, my judging side, well, I'll just go ahead and remind you, this is my letter here. So this tells us which of these slots has to do with the outside world, which one the outside world is going to see the most of with me. And the outside world is going to see this slot most often. So this is T for thinking. Okay. I'm going to scrap that because I don't need it right now. I'm going to use it to say the other letter I could be in this slot is F for feeling. So here's the question. Do you make your decisions based on what you think of a situation, based on logic? Or do you make your decisions based on how you feel about a subject, about your emotions? So I'm thinking that probably based on how you're seeing I'm laying it out, I've got this all logical, I've got this all diagrammed. You can probably tell I am stronger on my thinking side. This is the side I'm showing you. This is the side that's facing the outside world. This is my judging side, which is also going to be my extroverted side. So this letter over here could be either I or it could be E for extroverted. I think a lot of people know what these letters mean. If you're extroverted, you're more tuned in to the outside world. That's where you get your energy. If you're introverted, then you get your energy from within yourself. The outside world tends to drain your energy, and you need to go away privately to get energy from being by yourself. So a lot of gamers are introverted, especially if you play single player games. And throughout my time in Minecraft, I've been playing single player Minecraft. It's pretty clear I'm strongly introverted. So this letter here tells us which side is my strongest side. This letter here tells us which side is my extroverted side. So this one is my extroverted side. But my strongest side, the other slot here is always going to be the opposite. So my strongest side is going to be this one. So this, remember, is the perceiving slot. And this letter is S. And S stands for, let's see. S stands for sensing. Okay, sensing. And the other thing that this could be, let me come up with some more signs here. So the other thing that this could be would be N for intuiting. All right. So someone who is strong in sensing is going to get their information from what is directly in front of them. They are very concrete thinkers. They think about the world as they see it through their five senses. And that is what they base their information on. Someone who is intuiting, of course, takes in the world through those five senses. They still do that normally. But they focus less on what's in front of them and more about what could be in front of them. They're making connections between all of the things around them. And they're focusing on those connections rather than focusing on the world that's concrete in front of them. They tend to be more abstract thinkers. So someone who is sensing, I'm going to say, oh, stick, oh, coal. And I know that those are good resources. I'm going to take those and I can figure out what to do with them. They're going to get to a dark place and say, okay, I need a torch. And so they're going to make the stick and the coal into a torch when they need it. Probably that's, I assume that's basically the way I would say my strongest thought process is, because I'm an S for sensing. An intuitor is going to say, hey, it's a torch. And they're going to pick that up and they're going to use that for a torch later on. So, by the way, if you are a different personality type than me, or maybe if you're the same personality type but you think in a different way, then feel free to chat or comment and let me know about your personality type. Let me know what your thought process is and how that relates to how you take in information, how you make judgments about the world, and how you behave in general. So this is my personality. And ever since I was a teenager, this has been a very strong aspect of my personality. So again, this is the extroverted side of me. This is the introverted side of me. And this one is the strong side because I'm an I, I'm introverted. So people don't tend to see my strongest side. This is directed inside. So what do you do when your sensing trait is directed inside? What kind of information are you getting from inside? Lots of times it's going to be memories. You tend to be really good at, or you tend to rely on memory a lot. And I'll tell you, my memory is terrible. I can barely remember what went on in a conversation recently. I can tell you the gist of it. And I especially remember principles, which I think has to do with my thinking side. So I remember rules a lot. I remember traditions and the things the way that things were a lot. And that's the thing with us ISTJs is a lot of the time we remember the past. We tend to get our guidance from the past. We're not coming up with new connections with things. We're relying on the old connections that have always been there. And so as a kid, I used to think pretty much in black and white. I knew how things were supposed to be. You do the right thing. You don't do the nuanced thing. And anyone who thought differently was just wrong. And I think kids tend to have this. I believe kids in general have a black and white view of the world because they haven't learned all of the different connections between all of the things that they experience in the world. But I was especially prone to this because I'm an ISTJ. I had a big event in my life. A friend, you know how important my faith is to me. I'm a Christian. And as a Christian, I believe that people who are not Christians are in trouble. That if you're not right with God, if you haven't chosen to accept the salvation that God offers through Jesus Christ, and I've got a video on the channel talking about what Christians believe. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, I recommend you see that video. If you speed it up to 2 times, I think you'll be able to understand what I'm saying pretty well, and it'll be only 10 minutes. At normal speed, it's about 20 minutes. But anyway, as a Christian, tell you what, I don't need those cave sounds. Let me just turn that down. Options, not video settings, music and sounds, and I think that's ambient environment. And I'm just curious. I'm going to wander off here. I'll be back to this spot, but I want to see if that affects the nether noises too. So I believe that Christianity does hold the truth for... Nope, does nothing. Okay, good to know. Does hold the truth for how we get right with God and how we get out of trouble. And my friend, I had this friend who I was pretty close to at the time. She was my best friend at the time. And she was a Christian, and I really respected her. She was a thinking person. Also thought things through very carefully, asked questions about her faith, and I thought that she had unique ideas and perspective. And then we drifted apart for a while. She went through some life changes. She got married. And then she, I found a message on Facebook that seemed to indicate that she had decided no longer to be a Christian. And I'm going, uh-oh, because being a Christian means that you have salvation through Jesus Christ. You're not going to suffer eternally in hell, or the Bible calls it the lake of fire. But if she's denied that, then she's in serious trouble. Why would she do that? And so I got into a deep conversation with her on the internet. At the time, we were not really seeing each other face to face. We were more long distance friends. So I got into a deep discussion with her, and we never really saw eye to eye on it. I cared very much about her, and I think she understood that I cared about her. So we really hashed this out. It was a really emotional discussion. And at some point, I thought, well, she's going to college now, and she's studying philosophy. And tell you what, philosophy is a bit of a scary thing for... it was a scary thing for me as an ISTJ Christian. I think I remember being in youth group one day. I'm going to get some mining done while I'm talking, so you're not always staring at the same thing. I can come back to that diagram when I need to. But I was in youth group one day, and I think I remember someone my age mentioning that they were going to study philosophy, and our youth teacher was saying, well, just be careful about philosophy, because a lot of times people go to study philosophy and they come away deciding that they're not going to be Christians. And of course, I was seeing this bearing out with my friend. She had decided to study philosophy, and now she was no longer a Christian. But as I was talking to her and we were not seeing eye to eye, then I thought, well, I really, since I care about her, and since I want to be able to talk to her in a way that's reasonable, in a way that she'll understand, I need to get to her level. So I need to dig into this philosophy thing, because she does have an advantage over me in this subject. She knows it better than I do. So I need to at least try to understand where she's coming from. And again, this one got gold here. Let me see if I can go around it. I might need that gold later. I want to try something regarding the piglins later. So I was a little bit worried getting into learning more about philosophy. I'll say capital P philosophy. I wasn't really aware of what the subject was. It was just this looming kind of entity that encouraged people to no longer be Christians anymore. Okay, and I want to close this up so that no mobs get in here. There we go. And make a catch. Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. I don't want to stand up. Better. So I went to Amazon and purchased a book on philosophy. And the book had about as philosophical a name as I could find, and probably about as innocuous a name as I could find. It didn't have anything to say about religion that I could tell. It was called Socratic Logic. So I thought, okay, this is probably a good starting point for me. This seems like it's a fairly bland take on the subject of philosophy. So I'll see what this book has to say. And I still have the book on my bookshelf. I found it was very informative. I appreciated it a lot. It taught me a lot about logic. It really reshaped the way that I think. Instead of my old ISTJ way of thinking, where the best way you find the truth is you go back to the past and you see what tradition says, and that's probably going to be true. This book gave me some basic rules for how to discern truth myself. So if that sounds interesting to you, I recommend you finding the book Socratic Logic. The one that I found was written by a guy named Peter Kreeft. And as I was reading the book, I would see hints of things in this book. Let's see, I feel like I've connected with my catch, but I don't know for sure. So, have I got trapdoors? I will have trapdoors. I'm going to get up. I don't see any signs. Let me get these guys taken care of. Let me get these guys taken care of. I don't see any signs of my mine. Maybe I'll see it better over here. There's more iron here. I can at least raid that iron. Okay, we're going on a little expedition. So as I was reading the book, I saw signs of things that were familiar to me. Maybe this Peter Kreeft guy knew. Maybe he believed things like I believed. He wasn't. He didn't actually openly say what he believed. But I did some research and I found that he's actually. You may not be familiar with the term, whether you're a Christian or not. I think a lot of Christians are not familiar with the term, but he actually was a Christian apologist. So if apologist sounds like apologizing for something, that's not what it means. If it sounds a little bit like Greek to you, then it certainly is. It comes from the Greek word apologia, and that's a word that's actually used in the Bible. And us Christians are supposed to give a defense for what we believe when people ask us about it. And that's what the word apologia means, is it means to give a defense, to have reasons for what it is that we believe. So this person was someone who made it his business to have reasons for being a Christian and to teach reasons for being a Christian. And he had written this book which really had nothing obvious to do with Christianity. It wasn't a Christian book in any sense. Anyone of any religion could use it. I don't know if there are exceptions for Eastern religions that are more comfortable with contradiction in their logic and thought process and that kind of thing. But basically, anybody could use this book to improve their thinking. But it was actually written by a Christian, so that was a blessing, because I was afraid that philosophy was going to take my Christianity from me, in a sense. So praise the Lord, I found a great teacher for what I needed. So this book, Socratic Logic, really opened up a breadth of ways that I could think about basically everything in life. It gave me tools for understanding truth, how to find truth. So that was oh good, I've got enough for iron armor. So my conversation with my friend, like I said, we never saw eye to eye. So in that sense, I do wish that I was a bit more mature, knew better how to cover the conversation. I think I did as well as I could for the level of maturity that I was at. So I don't really fault myself for how that turned out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that section that connects with this. I should be trying to find a way to get to that diamond too, so let's prep that. Tell you what, I'm going to make another layer, because if I dig around it, then I can maybe keep it from getting eaten by lava once I break it up. There we go. Ah, this is what I needed. Okay. Just a second. I'm distracted again. My train of thought is gone, so I'll be back on track in a moment. Let's see, I would be here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my catch. Okay, so my conversation with my friend didn't go as well as I hoped. I think if I had been more mature, I would have done better. But I did as well as I could at the time. So she got to make the decisions that she wanted to do, and it was not my intention at any point to take away her ability to make her own decisions, but I wanted to see if I could help her make them better, and I could not, given where we both were at the time. But I certainly grew through the experience in my understanding. I would have missed that if this had been sealed off, so great. I praise the Lord for that. Let me get some iron smelted here so that I can... that's not what I meant. I was going for the furnace. So I can get moving on my plans to return to the Nether. 36, that's going to be 8 times 4 plus 4, which means I should have some sticks. I'm just going to do this and this. Okay. But as a result of this book giving me a new way of looking at life and at truth and how to come to that truth, I felt like I had basically changed in personality. I was free to see things differently from how they had always been. I was free to kind of come to my own conclusions about what was true and what rules were valid, because for an ISTJ, ought is a very important word. Ought is kind of the all-consuming word. Everything we do, at least in my experience, is predicated by ought. I ought to be this. I would be better off. I would be a better person being that. And I recognized that I ought to be more well-rounded, more able to come to my own conclusions about things rather than just taking whatever past authorities had said as true. Just because people have said it in the past doesn't necessarily mean it's the best way to go about things. So I now had tools for determining what ought to be without relying just on what people have said in the past. Okay, so this seems weird to me. That is not how that should be. I'll figure it out in a bit. I probably went down the wrong tunnel, and now everything's lopsided, so I'll figure that out in a bit. I am going to go back to that gold back at the other end, but I'm going to go the long way here. Had these tools now to validate truth, so I found I could be more open-minded. I didn't need the same I'll use the idea of the catch. I could catch myself in other ways than relying on what was already prepared for me. Yeah, this is a weird setup, so I'm going to have to figure out how to make that right. Okay, going down here. So I felt like I was beginning to develop my my ability to see connections better. This is a weird setup too. Okay. I am very confused, but I'm back where I want to be. And I had more confidence to make those mental connections for myself, to decide what I should listen to and what I ought not to listen to. And I thought, is my personality changing then? Because I'm not relying on the rules anymore. I'm accepting more things as guidelines than as rules. I'm coming up with connections better. Maybe I'm not the sensing personality that I used to be anymore. Maybe now I'm more of an intuiting personality. Maybe I'm more of an INTJ. And if you're not familiar, INTJs are kind of the personality that's associated with evil villains. A lot of the time that's the basis for the evil villain. If you've got a mastermind who builds dastardly machines and death traps and has elaborate plans for getting his way, and generally doesn't tend to be a moral person in the stories that they show up, that's the INTJ. And I thought maybe I'm heading in more of that direction. But as I looked into personality, as I studied personality, then I found that people were saying, no, you never change your personality. You're not changing in that sense. And I'm going, okay, so what's happening to me? So this is where I ought to get back to the diagram. So I'm just going to let my iron keep smelting here. And up, wrong tool. There we go. I'll go back to my signs and tell you what, I can be a little wasteful. I'm going to take this too because I need to smelt some gold. I want to see if that will help me get along better with the piglins. There we go. And back to the signs. And I've got my extras there. Okay, so I'm heading back to the central shaft. At least my diagonals are being fairly reliable. There we go. And it's daytime. So this is cool. I'm almost ready to hit the Nether again. I was wondering if it would take longer. That mining method really works out for me. By the way, has anyone gotten to try the new snapshot, the 21W06A snapshot, where they increase the build height? Been trying some new worlds in that one, and I find it pretty fun. The only reason we're not in that snapshot right now is because they don't let us transfer from old worlds into that snapshot yet. They're still trying to figure out how to get those two connected. So we're still in snapshot 21W05B at this point. So anyway, we're back here. And I was wondering whether I had changed to this letter. Intuiting. But it just didn't really fit, because the reason that I would change to this, now that I have this new tool for thinking, the logic that I was learning from that book, the reason I would change to this is because I ought to be more open-minded. And that is a very sensing, an ISTJ thing to think. So it didn't really make sense that that was changing. But I think I understand a little bit better today what was happening. So the methods I had, the logic that I learned did give me a way to make connections. So I am now, there we go. I am now a little bit more capable at intuiting. My base personality is still sensing. So I still think pretty concretely, but I can now kind of communicate in more abstract ways. I can think in more abstract ways. I'm growing in that respect. Now, the intuiting side, I've always had that side. That's always been a part of my personality, but it's been a weak part of my personality. So that is a side that I would show the world, but only in very limited circumstances, because more often I would be relying on the sensing side. But now that I have this way of thinking, I can show it more. And so that's how I've been adapting in that respect. And also, I've been able, now that I'm able to come to my own conclusions, I've been able to be more open-minded, because when you're relying on this side of your personality, when you're making your decisions based on what you think, what you feel, you come to judgments quickly. You're very decisive. You look at a menu and you go, in my case, I've been to a restaurant a few times. I know which food has been the best based on how I've logicked it out in the past. I am always going to eat that food ever, because that is the best thing on the menu. Why would I change? Now, if I were more perceiving, I would be affected by all of the senses and connections that I was making based on my environment in that day. Maybe depending on the weather, I might feel this way. Maybe if it's sunny, I might feel that way. Or rainy, I might feel this way. Or maybe I'm in the mood for something sweet today. I'm in the mood for something salty tomorrow, whatever. So I don't want to land on a decision. I don't want to jump to a judgment. If I were perceiving, I would want to keep my decisions open until the very last possible moment, when I know what the best one is going to be for that moment. So now I'm working on my perceiving side. Instead of being closed-minded the way ISTJs tend to be, because we're focusing on what we think of things and making our decisions based on that. Now I'm working on sensing what else is out there in the world, using my tools that help me to intuit things. So now I'm relying more on my extroverted side. I'm intuiting more. And so that would mean I am relying more on the you know what I'm typing here. Tell you what, I'll just keep it short. Use your memory. So I am now becoming more like an INTP personality. And this personality I can really relate to, because now that I have these tools that I've discovered through this book, this personality really breaks things down, really logics things out, really asks a lot of questions, really, they're always reassessing what they believe and why this is the going belief, where the ISTJ is saying this is what's been done, this is what will be done, because this is the right way to do it. The INTP is saying, why is that the right way to do it? And this is the side that I've been moving toward from now on with my new set of tools. I'm always asking, what do we mean by that? Why do we believe that? Is this always true, or is there another possibility? Whether there's another possibility. But I'm still very introverted. So I've been wondering, this is an extroverted side of me. Now I'm showing off both of my extroverted sides to the world as this one's becoming more prevalent. But since I'm more introverted, I'm wondering if I'm also developing my more introverted side over here, which would be F for feeling. So then I would be developing the INFP personality. And it's not that I'm changing my personality, it's that I'm trying traits that I already had, but that were buried. And from what I can tell, the INFP personality is the type of person who is really accepting of other people. And that is something an ISTJ, it just is not. We are, if you're not doing things traditionally, you're just wrong. I'm doing a test here. I want to test whether the piglins will leave me alone as long as I'm wearing gold, because I think I read that somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if I remember that correctly or not. So I'm going to go ahead and smelt the rest of this iron. And I'm coming to the conclusion these days, I think it's an aspect of me becoming more mature. I'm realizing I was raised in a very specific way. In fact, I have grown up in a very, I would call it a very thick Christian bubble. And to explain that, you know, some people may be familiar with the term echo chamber. And it's the idea that you surround yourself with the things that you agree with. You surround yourself with the friends that agree with you. And so, no, I want my crafting table. As you, just checking that I've got everything I want here. So as you look around your environment, just to check and make sure that everything's right, that you're right, everything's going to look like you're right, because you've surrounded yourself with things that confirm you. So that is the idea of an echo chamber. You're not going to see the things that are wrong with your belief systems, because you've surrounded yourself with things that confirm that you're right. And I can kind of relate to this as a Christian. I'm just going to try to fix my mind for a bit, because I'm talking about something pretty heavy, and I know as soon as I get into the Nether, I'm going to be highly distracted. So I want to stay on topic. And we'll get there eventually, but for now I'm going to hash this subject out that I'm on. And I want to see the direction that these walls are going to, because I'm going to make sure that my pinwheel mine turns in the same direction. So they tend to extend longer heading to the left instead of extending longer heading to the right. So hopefully that'll help me get everything developed. See, I've lost my train of thought already. I'll get back there. So yes, my Christian bubble. To give you some information about where I come from, I've already mentioned that that I've been homeschooled, so I don't have the typical schooling experience that a lot of people do, where you're surrounded by people who come from different home situations. I've been surrounded by my family, which of course tends to believe the same thing that I believe. I've already mentioned my name is Faith, and that's because my parents are both committed to raising me up as a Christian. I say are committed. I still live at home with them. So that's another layer to this Christian bubble. We've agreed that because I get along well with them, we have a good family relationship, then why would I need to pay extra bills and things if I'm willing to stay around the house and communicate with them? So, and cooperate with them. And we all get along fine, and they're happy to have me as long as circumstances are the same. Of course, when the Lord shows me who I'm to marry someday, then those circumstances will change. But for now, this is where we are. So let's see. This one extends longer that direction. This corner, I just don't like this corner. I don't get what is wrong with this corner. So I'll just explore in this general area. Tell you what, I'm going to compare it with some of the other corners. My mom was a missionary kid. My dad was in the military, and during his time in the military, he became a pastor. Okay, so this corner is like that corner, so I don't need to worry so much. It's fine. So you can see the commitment to Christianity in my family is strong. When I grew up, I joined a Christian ministry. I'm working at a Christian ministry, so I don't get the experience that people do in the workplace either, where they tend to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There should be, I think there should be a path here, and then this should be filled in, and I should have a path going that way. So let me just block that off. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to continue what I was saying. So my whole life, basically, I've been surrounded by Christians. I don't have a lot of experience with points of view outside of my faith. So this channel is kind of an effort on my part to expand my understanding of people who have different points of view, because yeah, back to where I started this line of thought from. I realized that my upbringing has done a lot to shape who I am, and it has been very different from most people's upbringing. And so there are things that as an ISTJ I would think, well, it's just common sense. This is the right way to think, and that's the wrong way to think. But I'm thinking of that as someone who's been raised as a Christian. Not everybody has. So how can I expect someone else to know right and wrong the way I would define it? How do I know that I've got right and wrong correct for every single situation? I mean, even if people are wrong, even if I do have the right way of thinking about things, how can I judge someone for not having the same background that I do? If someone just wasn't raised to know right and wrong, assuming I've got it right, and that may not be the case. But if someone was not raised to have the same background that I do, then why would I hold it against them if they make a mistake? And so I think that is a way that I am maturing in my understanding of the world and of people, and I think it's helping me to be more curious in general about where people come from, how we can connect with each other, and how we can learn from the lessons that that each of us has been brought up with, because there are things that I don't know. I haven't been brought up the way you were brought up. Maybe you know something about life that I don't. And it may be that as we come to a discussion, I would, that we might not see eye to eye. It may be that we would never agree with each other on a point. But I am a better and a wiser person for being able to make the point that you would make the way that you would make it, even if I disagree with that point. I am a better person for understanding your point of view and being able to express it as you would express it than I would be if I just dismissed it because you were just wrong. If I want to think more clearly about the world I live in and how it functions, I think it's fixed. I think everything's fine now. If I want to think more clearly about how the world functions, then it would be best for me to understand it from all the angles, not just the one that I believe in. That way I can account for people who think in ways that I disagree with, and maybe I can think of ways that I would speak to them that maybe would convince them to what the truth is, if I've got the truth, or maybe we'll never agree with one another. But we can still get along, we can still have peace, be friends, benefit from working with one another. Okay, I'm just making sure that all of my spokes are evenly placed here. So now I'm moving toward a position that I think is more accepting of people in general, and I think more along the lines of what an INFP personality would think, how they would think. So I've mentioned a number of personalities here, and I just want to say again, if you are... Okay, where did this come from? I think I can do this and just see what I need to build up here. So again, if you're, say, an INTJ, if you're an INFP, if you're an, what was the other one? An INTP. If you're any personality, if you'd like to just chime in about what personality you are and how that helps you to think about the world and behave and interact with other people, feel free to comment or chat, whichever one is available at the time you come in, and let me know how that affects who you are. Let me know if I got anything wrong in general about the personalities I've mentioned. Even if it's the ISTJ personality, the one that I feel most confident about, I could well have something different than the way that you, who might also be an ISTJ, would experience the world. So I'd just be very interested to hear your perspective, because like I mentioned before, my only reference right now is my perspective. I am an expert in nothing except for the position I have at this very moment. I can't even remember what my position was a few days ago, and I don't know how it's going to shape out in the future. So I am eager to learn, and I am eager to stop talking about myself all the time. So I definitely want to hear from you. Okay, let's fill this in. I get the feeling I'm going to... What's up here? I get the feeling I'm going to see another set of mistakes once I get this tunnel built in the way it ought to be. And this YouTube channel is really a, okay, so that extends left, but this extends right. And I think that's correct. I'm just going to check down here. I think this YouTube channel is really a growing experience for me in that situation. It's a tool that I'm using to round out my personality. I think that's right. I may find out that that's wrong, but for now, we'll go with it. And the great thing about exploring in this way is before I had access to just one personality. I was an ISTJ, and that was the only way I could think. But now I'm branching out into at least two personalities, the INTP and the INFP personalities. Not to say that I'm changing into them, but I get to explore, so that's cool. That's a nice aspect of maturing, and hopefully that makes me better at thinking through my beliefs, helping me to see the truth of my beliefs, which ones are right and which ones are wrong, and hopefully that also helps me to relate better to people who may or may not share those beliefs. And one of the things that I hope as I'm developing the channel, because I do want to relate to more people and to get to know how people see the world. Let me just clean up any signs I've got up here in case I don't remember if I left any. I would really like to be able to play games with other folks. Once I get a bit better about developing the community here, and I'm hoping that I get a chance to, like I say, this channel, the primary goal of this channel is to demonstrate God's glory. And right now I'm doing that through talking and telling you what I believe and being open about my flaws and how, thankfully, I'm forgiven for the ways that I offend God and the mistakes that I make because of His grace sending His Son to take the punishment for my sins. And so, but there's more ways to demonstrate God's glory than that. And one of the ways that the Bible tells us to do that, it says, let your light so shine that they, others, may see your good works and glorify your Father, that would be God, in heaven. And I think a part of that is by just going out there and being a good person in the view of other people out there in the world, out there who are not familiar with Christianity. Now, like I say, I've got this really thick Christian bubble that I live in. All of the people surrounding me pretty much are Christians. So how do I go out there and be faithful to my God in the world that I live in? So this is my way of trying to reach out and trying to communicate with anyone who's interested in communicating with me, in establishing positive relationships, and learning about you, and trying to glorify God in that way, saying, I want to try to dispel any ideas that people have that all Christians are going to be nasty or judgmental, that Christians are just out to convert people away from their beliefs. I will be open with you. I want you to be a Christian, because as a Christian, I believe that anyone who's not a Christian is in trouble. That said, you get to make your own decisions, and that's one thing that I learned with my friend, is no amount of arguing is going to change your mind if you're not ready for that thing. And it's certainly your prerogative never to be ready for that. So I would rather be faithful in how I behave and to put the best face on what I believe possible than trying to make you something that you don't want to be. I would rather inform you in the best way possible about what I believe in case that might come to be attractive to you. But I don't have to change you from who you are. What I have to do is reflect my God accurately. I think that is going to be the most positive way to reflect him. It may mean I have to stand by beliefs that you don't agree with. As long as we can agree that I've got my worldview and you've got your worldview, and we're each right according to our own worldview, and that's how we're going to relate to each other, I think that's fine. At least as far as our interpersonal relationships, I think we can get along is what I'm saying. So I look forward to trying that out and practicing these new personality traits that I'm developing. So I think I've hashed that out. I think we're ready to go to the Nether, and I've got a good bunch of stuff that I am going to hate to lose if anything happens to me. So let's see how this works. Going in. So the last time I was here, there was a bunch of piglins and there was a ghast. There's the ghast. Let me... yeah, it knows I'm here. I'm just hiding. But the portal faces south, I believe, and I want to go north. So I'm going to go this way. Yep. Good. Portal's still safe. Okay. How do I get north? Is that... That looks like a suspicious column of lava. That might be the one that's curtaining my my other portal. I don't know that I'll be able to see my portal very well, but I should see a lot of overworld blocks that I place trying to block off the lava. Hello, can I get up there, please? Okay. There's a couple lava streams over there. So we have options. Gotta find the right option here. I don't know what rock that is, but I think I do remember there was a basalt. Ooh. I like this place. I think I remember there was a basalt biome near my portal. Maybe that's what that is. Basalt? No, that's an extension of the is that a bastion? Is that what they call that? Okay. Yeah, that's the bastion. So what blocks can I use to cross here? I don't like using dirt because I can use that for farmland later, but I don't like using cobblestone either. I'm going to start digging up the blocks that I need to use. Can I get over here? Let me... Another suspicious lava stream there. We're just going to try all of the lava streams. But this one does not look like something that would connect with my portal, so I'm going this way. Okay. Now I'm testing whether people get mad at me. Okay, you don't even see me. Hi. Are we okay? We friends? I've got gold boots on. Okay, thank you. Okay. I can jump there. That pig is making scary shocked noises. I don't quite like that. So what happens if I kind of dig downward? Am I any more likely to see my portal from down? Okay. That doesn't look like a great vantage point. Ah. And I don't have enough diamond for a diamond pickaxe. I may be in trouble. Okay, that... Hi! Okay, yeah, I'm next to a warped forest. Don't know if that's the proper name for it, if those are forests or not, but that's where I am. I would like a safer place. Let me just try to MLG this and save myself some damage with a block. So, whee! Up. Miserable failure. Miserable failure. Let me eat. Okay. Got a little health. There we go. That is not the lava block that connects with my portal. I don't remember seeing this anywhere, but then again, when I was dealing with my portal, I was too focused on getting the lava blocked off. That is a lot of lava. To really notice what the terrain was around me. So I'm gonna see if I can get a better vantage point up here. Okay. It's falling from there. It might be nice to get up to that level. The fastest way would be by ender pearl, but I don't have any of those unless I fight Enderman. I'm not really interested in fighting right now. I just want to survive. Big, broad area to cross over here. And I'm not sure how far I have to walk before I've crossed the distance to where I would be in the overworld. Yeah, I'm pretty confident you're not going to attack me while I'm wearing my gold booties, so that's good. So you're making some alarming noises. I'm gonna see if I can climb up these trees and up to the upper layer there. These vines are not climbable, right? Nope. Not climbing that. Can I run and jump? Nope. Gonna have to use a block. Easy enough. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna bridge across. There's that level. How many blocks do I need to use to get up there? If I were up there, I could get across. So I might try that. I'm going to check my check and see what Y level I'm at. It says I'm at 83, it looks like. 80. If all the blocks in the Nether are 8 times the blocks in the overworld, then wouldn't I need to be at Y level 88 to be level with my portal? I don't know. I haven't really been a denizen of the Nether. I'm losing track of where I need to be. Just gonna see if that block does anything. It doesn't. I'm not seeing any recipes popping up. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. How do I get anywhere from here? There's nowhere up there. I want to be over there. So it looks like... Do I want to head up those trees, or do I want to try to bridge across there? I feel like the best thing is to head up those trees. I take a few steps forward and I feel like all of the paths that I saw to get from one place to the other just kind of disappear on me. It looks so easy from a distance, and then you take a few steps and the gaps between the trees get so much bigger. Okay. The nice thing is the mobs in this area are not too scary as long as you're wearing gold booties and not looking up directly at them. I am curious how Endermen work in the end, since I haven't been there personally. Whether having so many Endermen around is going to make it hard to look anywhere. Okay, I am now up on the level I want to be at. And this is north again, I think. This is south. I seem to be in some sort of cavern. Is that glowstone? Shroom light. Yeah, that's glowstone. I don't know what shroom light is. If it's shroom light, does that mean you can farm it? I've got research to do later. Up! Okay. So if I go around back here, will I be able to connect around the front again? And do I have enough blocks to do that? I don't want to have a jumping situation while I'm on such precarious footing. Thankfully my health is up, and I just ran out of those blocks. So that is not a winning strategy, but I can dig. I'm just going to try to conserve my pickaxe as I go, because I don't know how long I'll need it. I haven't heard any ghasts in a while, which is great. There's my old portal. I am not getting very far very fast. I'm back up here. I am not getting very far very fast. I get the feeling I should have taken the other trees. So I'm going back. I feel like all of these corners I didn't properly encircle are just ready for me to fall off. Warped roots. Do I have space to collect all this stuff? Yeah. And I think that, yep, I actually have a new recipe now. Okay. There, I think now I'm at the edge that I want to be at. And I'm at the height I want to be at. So for the moment I'm feeling pretty good. There's the bastion again. That'll be nice to explore when I know that I'm actually safe here. When I know how to get home on either end. Lava down there. I don't see it interacting with any structures like a portal. Then again, it's in a chasm. Because I didn't see a lot of the terrain when I was going through here the first time. There's no real good way around that, is there? So now I think I want to be down there. And what is my Y level again? 89. This is actually pretty much the perfect... Is my portal under there? I gotta find that out. I don't have a lot of blocks to work with. Where do I begin with this mess? Oh no. Where is that ghast? On the other side of that rock? Okay. I've got gravel. I can use up some gravel. This is probably the worst place to stand. Okay. Let me see if I can wall that off before I do anything destructive. Oh, the gas sounds like it's coming from that side. Oh, there it is. Not where I want to be. There's two of them. There's that guy, and I'm hearing one over there. Okay. I'm gonna stand here. That feels kind of safe. Okay. And is there a block I can place to stand on? I'll just use... This will probably burn. Okay. I am not seeing signs of my portal. I'm just wondering if I'm burying them. I feel like I'm doing this all wrong. Which is a very common ISTJ feeling, I think. Okay, so that worked. That's nice. Let's recycle some of this. Oh, this is bad, this is bad. This is very bad. I don't have any water. I'm gonna hide. Okay. I don't see a way through. Let me just dig down around here. Maybe I can reach from the back. I am not seeing any evidence of a portal. Okay. I am pretty sure that is evidence there is no portal. I feel like that cat is hunting me now. Got plenty of nether blocks. Okay. So just in case I see that ghast, I don't see the ghast. Now I just want to cross. Okay. I better not need to go backwards. I've been spending a lot of time thinking about how I should have encircled the lava around my portal. So maybe I'm getting a little bit better at that. There's no lesson like failure. That's one thing that really does help my bad memory is failure. It's not perfect though. Okay. Okay, I can't see the gas from here, so the gas can't see me. Now I think when I see the portal, it should be facing me. Got some odd colored block down there, but maybe it's just the shadows on the nether rack. Just want to make sure there's nothing I'm missing on this side. Okay. The ghast cannot see me from this side. So okay, I think I'm fine for now. I want to see this lava fading away. I want to see it heading in that direction. And it's not doing what I want. But there we go. Getting a little impatient. That's not a great attitude to have in a death-defying situation. Okay. So I made a semi-bridge across, and now I've got to figure out how to proceed. There's a great big wall over there. And it looks like the best way is a precarious bridge across nowhere. Oh, do not look at the Enderman. I feel like my cursor passed pretty close to there. Ah! Woo! Too close, too close, too close! I've got to be ready to kill that thing. Oh, good. How many arrows I've got? 5? I can't do that very many more times. What? You died! Were you? Ah! Where are you? There you are. I do not want to go out of somewhere precarious while you're shooting at me. Okay. Now stay dead. That's both of you, right? And I do not know how to speed bridge. Sorry, folks. It's a thing I've heard of. But we're not seeing it today. There we go. And I'm pretty sure I am going far higher than I need to right now. I feel like I want to be on that level. I feel like I want to investigate that chasm. I see some weird blocks over there. Those are the ones that attracted me before. I don't know what those are. I'm gonna see if I can dig down from in here. This is probably gonna break my pickaxe. Okay. And what kind of blocks? I've got iron, so I can remake the pickaxe if I need to. Got plenty of wood. Okay. Can I see anything of value in there? It doesn't look like there's enough lava coming down, because I'm pretty sure the lava was coming in 2 columns. Yeah, that doesn't look like it's really worth my time. I just need to get down to where I can proceed a little bit better. here's a ledge. This ledge might help. Okay. Oh. I'm not going to bother with that lava column. I saw some lava over here. I'm going to have to go back down the path I just came up. Or, I made some stairs for myself, right? I don't know what happened to those. Okay. This was where I saw lava over there, but that's not going in the correct direction. And I'm at level 69 now, so I think I'm too low. And I'm probably too far west, too. So I think when I went to make my portal, I was I was kind of curving around to the east. I may just have to revisit the overworld and see what I can figure out from there. Yeah, I think I'll go back. I'm at least more familiar with what this section of the Nether looks like. I've got some landmarks. And is this all netherrack? Netherrack? It's just lit up by the fires is all it is. I don't know if this is the same blocks I saw before or not. Okay, I'm on the wrong side of the chasm. My path is around the other side. So the reason, by the way, that I wanted to get into my personality, my idiosyncrasies, is recently I was, I think I mentioned this, I kind of introed this earlier, was talking about one of my favorite YouTubers and kind of being critical. I tried to be as nice as possible, but being critical of his content, and I think he's got a big fan base, and any one of those fans probably is going to think that I'm overreacting to the kind of content that he creates. So I hope that I've kind of explained this. I come from, one, a very rigid personality type, and two, a very rigid echo chamber bubble. And now that I'm trying to, should I go this way? Let me see if there's anything this way. I just want to find out if there's a safer way to get around this column here. Of course it won't be safe because I hear a ghast who is right there. And I don't have any more arrows. Okay. I don't see any signs of my portal over there. So as I'm trying to be a little more open-minded, step out into areas that are not my comfort zone, be a little bit more familiar with people, with what people who are not raised the way I am believe. I think any kind of content that I encounter that it doesn't come from a Christian point of view is going to be a little bit shocking to me, because I come from very far on one side of the spectrum. And I have a great example of how to do this, because Jesus was, as I've said before, he was God the Son. And God's standard, God's demand for how we should live our lives is perfection. That's why we're in trouble, is none of us can be perfect. But that is the way to be right with God, is to be perfect. I'm curious what this lava does, if it's going to clean up this whole area and make it easier to walk around. Looks like it. Yay! I just want to see. Just want to make sure there are no buried portals in the neighborhood. Just in case. And during the time that Jesus was on Earth, in the nation that Jesus came from, Israel, there was a group of religious leaders called the Pharisees. And if I remember right, I am not 100% sure about my memory, but I believe their name is a reference to purity. They were the pure ones. So they held themselves above everybody else in terms of holiness. Don't want to move my pickaxe in that direction. They were the example to everyone else of how to be holy. They were the ones who had it right. Everyone else had it wrong. And Jesus, you would think that the Son of God, that the Son of the God whose standard is perfection, would get along best with the Pharisees, who care about perfection. But Jesus did not get along with them at all. Because they were not willing to admit that they were not perfect. They considered themselves perfect, and I am in trouble. Let me get some food real quick. Yeah. Okay. Well, at least I know how to get back here, but I'm going to need more iron. Okay, what I'm going to do, I am going to get myself more iron. I'm going to start from 0 again. But I am going to go by land. And come back from the land side, from the overworld side. Okay, so what resources do I have in this chest? Got a wheat and a wooden pickaxe. Got cobblestone. I don't have wood, but I do know that I have a pretty strong wood grove. So all is not lost. No, I don't think I need that. I will need more rabbit hides. I lost all my string. So I think the first thing I had better do is brave the dark. See if I can get any... Well, I was going to say see if I can get any spider string. I hear that guy. There's a chasm over here, right? Maybe it's worth checking out what's inside the chasm. Well, then again, I heard that sound from around here. The cave should be in this neighborhood, right? But I am not hearing it now, so I'll go this way. I just need wood. I need to, great. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to get wood. And maybe I'll do another bunny hunt. So, let's see. I was talking about how Jesus did not get along with the Pharisees. The Pharisees would tend to shun people who were not as perfect as the Pharisees believed themselves to be. There we go. And Jesus earned himself the enmity of the Pharisees because, among other things, there was a lot of reasons they had to dislike him, but among other things, he would eat with people that they considered to be sinners. There's a story in the Bible of Jesus actually did go to a Pharisee's house for dinner. I don't know what the circumstances of that invitation were, but while he was there, a lady who was known to be a prostitute, if I'm remembering correctly, showed up at the house, and she started weeping, and she washed Jesus' feet with her tears and dried them with her hair. So very personal, something that we would not consider doing in our culture. Hi. Actually, I'm planning to kill you, so you may not want to get too close, but hi. So they lived in a culture that obviously did not have cars. At the time of Christ, they would walk most places, so it was common for people to have their feet washed because they would get all dirty from the dust, but it wasn't common to wash someone's feet with your tears. So what she was doing, she was obviously, the word that might be used here is contrite. There you are. She was obviously remorseful, probably over her lifestyle. Jesus accepted what she did as a good thing. When the Pharisee said, "If you just knew who was washing your feet, then you would not be okay with this," Jesus rewarded her repentance. He approved of her repentance. And so there's this very clear divide between the people that Jesus associated with and who the religious leaders of his day considered to be righteous. And the Bible talks about Jesus would eat with the sinners and the tax collectors. There was and a tax collector was especially egregious to the people of Israel at this time because they were being oppressed by the Roman government. And I got into this topic before. I think I got distracted, but I was saying that it was ironic. I was going to say that it was ironic that Jesus was killed under the charge of being a traitor to Rome. In the story I used, you can, it's in one of my old streams. He actually kind of implicitly encouraged paying taxes to Rome because he was asked, should we pay taxes to Rome? And Jesus said, show me. The specific coin he used was for an example, was a denarius. He said, show me a denarius, and they showed him this coin, and it had Caesar's face on it. And he used that as an example to say, give to God what is God, and give to Caesar what is Caesar's. I may have the order on that wrong. It may be give to Caesar what is Caesar's, give to God what is God's, but the idea is there. So Jesus was not a threat to Rome, but he was killed, ironically, as a threat to Rome. And yet he would eat with these tax collectors who were Jewish people who were considered traitors by other Jews because they were siding with Rome. They were collecting the taxes for Rome, the taxes that the religious leaders did not want to pay, wanted Jesus to say they didn't have to pay. And let's see. I'm just feeling a little bit rough in the throat and still getting used to this, but I think I've been doing really well about my longevity during the stream. So that's good, but that's why I'm kind of stalling and stuttering here. So the religious leaders did not approve of Jesus eating with the tax collectors because the tax collectors would collect the taxes for Rome, which was considered treasonous by the Jewish people And often the tax collectors would take a little off the top because Rome didn't mind if they did that. But of course, the Jewish people certainly did mind if more taxes were being taken off, from them, so that the tax collectors could take a little off the top. But the direction I'm going with this is Jesus was spending his time with people who were not perfect. In my case, I'm trying to learn about how people think that don't come from the place that I do. And I encounter content that I'm going, I wouldn't make those jokes, but somebody else would. And I'm trying to learn where that person is coming from. So now I have the question, which I dealt with in a previous stream. What do I do with that discrepancy between, I think I found some of the best content that's out there on the internet, and it still is, well, now that I've hit him, he wants to run away. Okay. Even the best content that I found on the internet concerning comedy is still further out there than I'm used to, than I'm comfortable with. And of course, I recognize nobody's perfect. The world is a mixed bag. It's a blend of good and bad. And there's, I am just checking to see if by any chance there are any bunnies out here. I don't see any. I'll have to do research. And of course, if I'm going to head in any direction outside of my bubble, I'm going to find content that's outside of my bubble, right? If I head in any direction outside my bubble, I am going to find people who believe in a way, who behave in a way that might offend my sensibilities as a Christian, because I'm not used to their way of thinking and behaving. So that is something that I've been considering since making my last stream. It's something that I'm going to be working through. Is it getting dark already? The sun's kind of heading in that direction. I don't think it's dark yet. I feel like when the sun gets directly overhead, the game gets a little dark. I don't know if Mojang does that on purpose to kind of give you a warning, or if it's just a design flaw. I feel like there should be bunnies spawning in the desert as I'm leaving various chunks. I'm not finding many here, and I'm wondering if maybe I'm using up the supply, because I've had 3 bunny hunts out here now. But anyway, as I've said in the past, Christians are to reflect God, and Jesus is the Son of God, so we're to reflect Jesus. We're supposed to be Christ-like, and that would mean that I would follow Jesus' example and not shun people who are different than me, not shun people who behave in a way that is not perfectly Christian, especially if they come from a different worldview than I do. Okay. Are you the last rabbit in the desert? I need more of you. I think I need at least 6 hides. There we go. So then I've got 4. I was just thinking maybe I want... Well, I'm in the wrong desert anyway. I think I'm going to go home. Maybe hunt a spider on my way. But the next day that I go hunting, I'll be heading to the desert that's between me and base 2. Maybe that would be good. I will probably have opportunity to hunt a spider somewhere along the way. I don't have a shield, so it'll get dicey if there are skellies out. There will be skellies out, I'm pretty sure. And when I had my 5 obsidian, what I should have done is come over here and fix this portal, but I had plans. Gotta get back to my favorite base. Okay. You see my copper monument over there? I'm going to try not to say beacon because a beacon is a very specific thing in Minecraft. Oh, there's another thought that I've been kind of churning over. We'll see if I get to fully develop it while I'm on my way. I've been toying with the idea of seeing if the phrase "play kind" will catch on in the stream. Seeing if I can make that a catchphrase. Of course, we're all familiar with the idea of "play nice." It's what parents tell their kids to do. If you're not able to do it, you might get marked as doesn't play nice with others on paperwork. Being a homeschooler, I don't know if that's a public school thing. That's probably a public school thing. Don't you dare fall into my mine and explode the place. Okay, now I can go to sleep and collect some more wool and keep hunting some bunnies. So we're all familiar with the idea of playing nice with others, not playing nice with others, but nice is one of those vague terms, and in fact it used to be a very vague, well, it used to have a very different meaning. 3. So I need 2. So I'm doing good. I don't need to fight any skeletons. I mean, any spiders. I will get some more wood. But nice used to mean something along the lines of ignorant. Used to mean poor, like poor in wealth. Used to mean timid. And then it eventually shifted from meaning timid to meaning delicate. And then it shifted from delicate to meaning precise. I guess dainty, and then precise. So then it started to be associated with the upper class and the finery of the upper class. And so that's where we have a more positive sense of the word nice. So that's a very nice house you have there. It starts to carry on some of the positive connotations of the upper class. But for a while, it was shifting between these definitions. There's one of the sites that I like to look up words on is called etymonline. I think it's .com. Could be .org. But it shows etymologies for various words. If you're looking at an entomology, you are looking at the study of bugs. But if you're looking at an etymology, then you're looking at the study of the history of words, the historical meanings of words. Okay, so I've got 39 of these. I think that's enough for now. More bunny hunting. Let me just go and throw out a very loud and isolated since I'm going to say it anyway. So the word nice, there was actually a period where it kind of meant all of the above. And on Etymonline, I saw this quote. I think it was from one of Jane Austen's. There's iron. I'm going to need iron. One of Jane Austen's novels, I think. I don't remember which one. Or even if it was Jane Austen, it could be one of the Bront sisters. But obviously I'm not well read in these ladies. I pretty much only read Pride and Prejudice for school. But in this quote, there was a fella who was criticizing one of the gals in the story because she said that a book was very nice. And she said, well, why shouldn't I call a book nice if that's what it is? And he said, well, nice is a very nice word. It fits all sorts of situations. So I was thinking maybe it would be worthwhile to have a more specific word for how we ought to play with one another. Maybe we want to play kind instead of play nice, because really that's what we're going for, right? We're not just trying to play fancy. We're not trying to play ignorant. We're not trying to play mean, which is a lot of that's why we have the word mean. It originally carries the idea of lowness, and that would carry the idea of the lower class. So since nice used to mean poor, it would even probably carry some of the same concepts as mean. It would be related to the lower class. Yeah, I think I should have headed further east when I was coming by here before. So no, what we're looking for when we say play nice is we're looking to play kind, aren't we? So I might use that phrase. I might throw it around at the end of the streams, see if it takes off. There, finally gotcha. There's a lot more bunnies in this desert than any other one, so. I lost track of that one. Okay, I've got 6. Is that enough? Do I need to badger these bunnies any more than I have? Can I? There you go. Just in case I hurt that guy. Let's see. Should be 5. I think 1 here. Yes. Okay, good. Got a bundle. My 3rd one. Why don't I pick up some of this stuff? I think I've got some at base 1. But why not? And then I don't remember which side of this desert I was on when I found base 2. I think probably that side. So I'll just kind of hang out in the middle. Oh, there's that village. So yeah, I should be heading on this side. So when I get to base 2, I think I'll set my spawn over there. There's those woods. I see the woods for base 2. I'm almost there. And then I think I'll call it quits, because as I've mentioned, my voice is getting a little bit tired. My throat is feeling a little rough. Been working on my keeping my voice up, and I think I'm getting more comfortable with using it for long periods. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, I just saw the time that I've been streaming, so this is nearly double the time that I've spent on any of my streams. I think maybe I think I remember doing one for 1 hour and 18 minutes, and I just looked at OBS. I was pre-recording the stream. I like to get some dead sound from the room just in case I want to edit. That can be useful for making a good edit. And so I may have more time on the clock than I've actually been spending streaming, but it says I've been going for about, oh no, that's, I've been looking at the live clock, so I've actually been going for about almost 2 hours now. So good, I'm getting better at this, and this is Saturday morning, so it gives me a lot of time to do a prolonged stream. I think I'm aiming at doing weekly so far, and I'm not going to say that I have a die-hard schedule yet, but at least Saturdays seem to be a good day to go about this. Where did I put the entrance for my base now? I don't think I went that far over. I think it should be over here. because I think I wanted to stay kind of close to the desert. I'm not going to say that I'm going to that I'm not going to stream on a day that's not Saturday. I'm not going to say that I'm going to hit every Saturday. But if I'm streaming, it probably will likely be a Saturday morning. So I had water here. I feel like there was a lot of water near my base too. I may have to make a makeshift hut or something if it gets dark too soon. If I make a makeshift hut, I'll end the stream while I'm in the hut or something. There's this cave, but it's not lit up. I'm pretty sure if I was using a cave, then I would have lit it up. Is there a cave over here? Just some stone. There's more woods over here. And I think I probably would have checked out the village. The village was pretty close to my base too. As it's getting later, I don't want to get too close to any villages. There should be... I was wondering if there would be any bunnies out in the grasslands here. I've not been paying attention to whether there are bunnies this way. So there's the desert. I'm not seeing the village. And it is getting late. I'm seeing light over there, but I think it's a... lava pool. So I'm going to build a quick little hut. Okay. I don't want to be around here. The monsters will climb up this wall. There we go, that's safer. And in this version we have phantoms, right? So it's good that I have that extended up. Will I have enough stone to close it off? Or will I just have to hide under the overhang? I think I can make it. I am safe. Not very pretty, but I'm safe. I don't have a lot of stone. I would like to go ahead and make a furnace. Okay, that's the donkey out there. Okay, so that'll give me enough stone for a furnace. I'll just pillar up. There we go. Craft that furnace. And now I've got a use for those tools. There we go, got a little light. And I'll call it quits for now. And maybe I'll have a good topic to talk about until morning the next time that we come in. I need to come up with something interesting to keep our time until the monsters go away. Or maybe I'll just start my mine here. Let's see, I'm gonna wanna get that dirt actually. So, thank you very much for spending your time with me on this video. Huh. I just noticed OBS is doing something weird. Has it been like this the whole time? I'm just going to take a learning moment. Because OBS is really compacted here, so let's see if it's been like that the whole time. YouTube says it's been normal, so okay. I'll just not bother with that. And I'll be looking over the VOD in the future and see if all is the way it ought to be, or if I can be better next time. Thank you very much for any time you spent on the stream, for listening to me talk about my personality. And I do look forward to the day that I can talk with you about your personality and the things that you're going through in your life, the beliefs you have. And until next time, God bless you and play kind.